statement, and then we'll go ahead and take a few questions after his opening statement. Whenever you're ready, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give Missouri a lot of credit coming off a COVID pause. Being down a couple guys, I thought Coach Martin and his guys were ready to play. They played a lot harder than we played. Might have been our worst defensive performance in the year. You know, I told our guys going into the game it's going to be a leadership test, a maturity test, to see where we're at. Coming off 2 big wins against Tennessee and Florida. Last time we had 2 big wins were Gonzaga. You know, in Houston, we didn't play well on the road. At Memphis, the same thing happened here. We had 2 big wins and we didn't play well on the road. So, you know, we got to get some leadership. Start junior high and figure out how to get these guys motivated to play a little harder because the effort was drastically different between the 2 teams tonight, and it cost us a game. If we're going to try to compete for this championship, you got to win games on the road. When you got an opportunity to win them, so we should have won on the road, and I didn't come up with it. So, disappointing loss. You know, we got to look ourselves in the eye and see maybe we got to play some guys more minutes. We definitely got to play with a lot better effort than we played tonight, though, for sure.
Thank you, Coach. If you have a question, just a reminder to use the raise hand function, and we'll get your questions. Let's start with Mike Rodak first.
Just 8 minutes for Charles today. Just how much was that a factor of the way Mizzou plays, not having a 5, and just how did that hurt maybe in the rebounding, minus 13 for the game?
Yeah, I mean, we obviously got drilled on the glass. You know, Charles is one of our better rebounders. We didn't really have a matchup. That's why we started in the zone because he, you know, can't guard Kobe Brown. Nobody could really guard Kobe Brown for us today, apparently. But, you know, we didn't like his matchup on Brazil. Brazil's kind of plays on the perimeter, plays more like a guard. So, you know, in hindsight, maybe we should have started somebody else, brought him off the bench when he had a better matchup. But we started him, kept him in the zone, and the zone didn't work. We don't really play much zone ever. So we gave it a go. 9-0 start was what we were looking for out of it. You know, got him out so we could go man. And then they played small a lot. I mean, we played Juwan Gary at the 5 tonight, so I'm trying to get some energy. So playing small didn't help us on the rebounding deal, but, you know, they didn't really have a matchup for him. We tried him at the second half, put him on Brazil, and that didn't go well either. You know, the start to the first half and the second half didn't go well with the matchups we had going.
Let's go to Maxwell Donaldson. Go ahead, Max.
Hey, Coach, I know it came in a loss, but J.D. Davison kind of showed some improvement. He had 1 turnover, the 4 assists, and 13 points. Can you just talk about what you've seen with him over the last few weeks to get back to this type of performance?
Oh, he played hard. I mean, he led us in blue-collar points. You know, if you looked at, you know, the 1 turnover, that's great. But, you know, we just wanted to play aggressive. He was second highest guy on the team in plus minus. You know, Noah was plus 12. He's plus 10. We had our best defensive efficiency numbers. So, you know, playing hard goes a long ways. I think some other guys on the team need to get back to playing as hard as they can play because we didn't get that out of everybody. But really happy for JD. You know, we challenge him like let's play a little harder. Let's you know, the turnovers against Tennessee, they weren't great, but you know, he came back the next game, only had 1. I still want him playing aggressive. I thought he had a good mix of being aggressive while still taking care of the ball tonight. So, you know, he's been in the gym a lot too. He goes 2 or 3 from 3. So you're shooting the ball well. It helps you be a little more aggressive. So, you know, this is one of those deals where our offense was good enough to win this game. You know, it was our offense that loses the game. We were at a 1.23. And we put up 86 points, shot 38% from 3, shot almost 50% from the field. Lowest turnover game of the year. We didn't guard anybody. That goes back to effort. Goes back to being locked into the right things. We're not there right now. We told the guys it's a leadership test, maturity test. We failed in that regard today.
So to Clayton Connick. Go ahead, Clayton.
Coach, the wins this year have been really impressive wins over big teams, and the losses this year have kind of been upset type losses. What do you kind of see as the issue right now?
Yeah, I mean, all 4 losses we shouldn't have lost any of them in our opinion. We were favored in all of them. if you can beat Gonzaga, Houston, Tennessee, at Florida, you ought to be able to beat Iona, Memphis, when they're on a 4-game losing streak, Davison. And those are all good teams. Missouri plays hard, but we're a better team than them. When if we play our best basketball and they play their best basketball, I think we win. That's why we called it a leadership test, a maturity test. Like, are we mature enough to bring the effort we need to, no matter who it is we play? Or, if you're a mature group and you've got leadership on the team and you can play as hard as you did against Gonzaga and against Houston, against Tennessee at home. Our offense wasn't very good against Tennessee at home. We played hard and we won the game. Our offense wasn't great against Florida in the first half for sure. We played really hard in the beginning of the second half to make up for the deficit at halftime when we won the game. So our efforts now where it needs to be, we got to get better leadership. That's really starts at the top with the head coach. I got to do a better job figuring out ways to motivate these guys to play in the games that they're supposed to win with the effort they're supposed to give.
Okay, we got 2 more questions. We're going to finish with these 2. So let's go with Mike Rodak, and we'll finish with Joe.
You're down to 62 in Ken Palm defensive efficiency after this game. Just how does that alarm you or concern you entering the Auburn game on Tuesday night?
I mean, it's a big drop. I think we were 41st before this game. Is that right? Yeah, we deserve to drop 20 points. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what Auburn's at right now, but I think they were the best defensive team in our league. So, if we're going to have any shot of winning that game on Tuesday night, we're going to have to completely turn our defensive intensity around. And we got no shot of winning that game. I mean, they're a talented offensive group that plays really hard on defense and are locked in. Like we don't have the size we had last year to kind of, last year we had big, long, athletic wings. Herb Jones is really started at the 1 for us, 6'8", and Petty at 6'6", and Primo at 6'6". You got just length everywhere. Shaq was your shortest guy out there. Now you got Quinterly, Shaq, JD. All of them are 6'3" or under. And if you don't play super hard and use your quickness and your athleticism, like, we're not going to be a good defensive team. So it's really concerning, to be honest with you. We can't compete for SEC championships, be the 62nd best defense in the country. We're, our first year here, we were 114th in the country in Ken Palm defensive efficiency. You saw where that took us. We're 1 game over 500 in the year. So if we don't get our defense figured out, we're not going to be competing for any championships this year.
Okay, go ahead, Joe, with the last question.
Coach, you talk about this being a leadership test or a maturity test, and you say we need some leadership in the team. Is that something that can be taught, or is that something that maybe the players just have to embrace on their own, or what are ways that maybe the program can gain leadership or gain?
That's a good question, because as a coach, you're supposed to be coaching these guys up. So I do think you can't coach them up on some leadership. Obviously, leadership is something that sometimes guys walk in as natural leaders. And I told our guys, if you're going to lead, you better be one of the hardest playing guys on this team every night out. So, can we get somebody that's going to make sure that the rest of their teammates play hard every night out? Last year that was Herb Jones for us. When Herb plays as hard as he plays, when Herb talks, everybody's going to listen. Herb talks about playing harder and coming together and being tougher. They knew Herb was the toughest, most hard-playing guy on the floor. So, guys, listen. So we're going to have to figure out somebody, good teams, average teams that coaches lead, good teams, maybe the coach. If you want to be great, you want to compete for SEC championships, the players got to lead. So it comes a little bit harder, a little bit different when your teammates telling you, like, your effort's not where it needs to be. So we've got to do better job as coaches, empowering some leaders, maybe teaching some leadership. But I don't think you can lead if you're not a really hard playing, tough, competitive guy yourself. And so we need those guys that want to be leaders on this team to step up and be that. And we got to get this thing figured out here in a hurry. We're running out of time. It's almost the middle of January now.
All right, thank you, Coach.